And good day to Dr. Juraida and my fellow friend. I'm Ahmad Faigazi bin Zunaidi. My metric card SD20068. I will present my part, which is main function. Now let me talk about header file and boolean. So as you can see here, this is our header file, which is stdio.h, stdlib.h, string.h, which is our header file. And for boolean is true 140 is our boolean type. Next, we continue with the structure function. The structure function is the keyword define the structure type followed by the identifier, which is name of the structure. And then we have structure pointer. As you can see here in our coding, we have two data structure type, which is date and task. So in the struct date, we have three members type, and then followed by the struct pointer. And then for the struct task, we also have three member type, and then followed by struct pointer. Next, we move to the void function. So as you can see here, we have void enq function, deq function, sort underscore date function, insertion sort function, display function, search function, modify function, and delete function. We move to the main function. So as you can see here, this is our coding for our project. This is our output after we run that coding. And for example, we make a new command, enter your choice, E capital letter or E small letter, which is we want to enter new task. So we enter, and then the next command is task is already showed. So that's all from me. Thank you.
I'm Jajin. I'm going to present the enq part. This is the coding for enq. We will ask user to enter the task name, the year, month, date, which is the due date, and the due time in 24-hour format. This is the sample output of enq. In this example, I enter 5 different tasks. The first task is DSA assignment. The due date is on 4th of February. The second task is Technopreneurship Assignment 3. The due date is on 1st of February. And the third is Differential Equation Exercise 4.2. The due date is on 26th of January. And the fourth task is German Assessment Week 14. And the due date is 11th of January. And the fifth task I enter is Database Mini Project. The due date is on 15th of February. And then after we enter all the tasks, we choose L to list out all the tasks sorted by the date.
Greetings to all, I'm Yap Kahui and I'm going to present the DQ function of our project. As shown in slide is a coding for our DQ function. Next, the picture on top is listing all the tasks that have been inserted, while the picture at the bottom is the output of listing all the tasks after performing the DQ function.
My name is Muhammad Nur Alif bin Nazim, and I'll be presenting about the sorting part for our programming. In the sorting part, it consists of 3 void functions, which is sort date, insertion sort, and also display. So first one, for the sort date. In this sort date, we need to detect whether the value is in order or the value is out of order. So firstly, we determine that if sorted D is null or sorted D date is larger and equals to temp D date. Temp D date is actually the input that we entered. Okay, so if it obey these two condition, so it will swap place with each other. So temp D next is equal to sorted D equals to temp D. Okay, so we don't want to just sort the date, but if the date is being swapped, the task also must be swapped as well. So that's why we did temp t equals to next, temp t next equals to sorted t, and sorted t equals to temp t. That is the swap part. Okay. So for the while loop below, it is for the value that is in order. Okay, so if the value are in order, so as you can see, current pointer d is equal to current pointer d next, current pointer t is equal to current pointer t next. So it will move on accordingly, following the order, the correct order. Okay, so for the next one is insertion sort. So in this void function, firstly we call the pointer, which is struct date current pointer d equals to front d, sorted d is equal to null, struct task current pointer t equal to front t, sorted t is equal to null. Okay, so we did for the while loop for current pointer d not equal to null. So if current pointer d not equal to null, means there is a value in current pointer d. And then we did the sort date. Okay, like the void function that I explained earlier, which it will swap the data that are not in order and will move accordingly if the data is in order. Okay, and then below it we can see that current pointer d is now next d and current pointer t is now next t. Okay, and the sorted d that is null mentioned above will be front d, and sorted t, which is null at above, will now be front t. Okay, next one is for the display. Okay, for the display part, firstly we did the insertion sort void function, which is in the function itself it will arrange the value in order. If they are not in order, they will swap by using the temp method. Okay, so next is if front t is equal to null and front d is equal to null, that means there are no data in front t and front d. So if there are no data in both of them, so the program will print list is empty. Okay, so if there are data in front t and front d, front t will now be current pointer t and front d will be current pointer d. Okay, for the while loop below, where current pointer t is not equal to null and current pointer d is not equal to null, that means there is there is value inside current pointer t and current pointer d. Okay, it will print the value, which is %s for current pointer t task, %d for current pointer d date, and %0 for d for the current pointer d time. Okay, and then below it we can see current pointer t is equal to current pointer t next, and current pointer d is equal to current pointer d next. This both instruction is for the next one, the next value that we will enter. Okay, next one is for the output part. Okay, basically there are a menu display over here, which display E equals to enter new task, T equals to delete top prioritized task, and so on. So I entered E to enter a new task for 5 times, and I entered the task itself and the due date for each one of them, and also their due time. Okay, as I press button L, which means list out all tasks, so it automatically being sorted by the due date. As you can see, the top at the top part of the list is 11th of January 2022. Okay, and at the bottom part of the list is 15th February 2022. So from top to bottom, it are being sorted based on the date in ascending order.
My name is Rokashni Vaishwaran and ID number ST246. I will explain the searching part in our coding. To-do apps are widely used with different purposes depends on particular needs. We observe that to-do app user wish to prioritize the task mainly based on deadlines. Thus, in our to-do list application, we will sort all the tasks ascending by date before display it to the user. To provide a simply to use to-do list application, we provide clear instruction for the user to choose a function that they want, where the user is only required to key in a single specified alphabet to activate the certain function. I've did the searching part using linear sequential search. These are the sample inputs that we have to enter. There are 5, and all we have to do is enter the new task by pressing E, and then can search the due dates by just insert S, then enter the date 24 hours format, so it will display the task date and time as well. So these are the output we obtained from the input just now. And that's all from me. Thank you.
Next is the modify function. This is the code for the function, and there are 3 types of modification. They are modifying task, modifying date, and modifying time. Users could perform modification by entering the due date of the particular task, and this is the sample output for the due date modification. Next, this is the output for after modifying the due time. And last is the output for modifying the task name. Thank you.
I'm Jajin and I'm going to present delete a specified or particular task. This is a coding to delete a particular task. We will ask the user to enter the due date of the task that he or she wants to delete. This is the sample output of delete a particular task. On the left-hand side is the output that we entered the 5 tasks in the earlier enqueue part, and then on the below I choose to enter the queue where to delete the task on 1st of February, and the left hand side is the output after I delete the task. Thank you.